Starting stream now. I'm starting the recording. Joe,
Right
how you
up
feeling
set.
tonight? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. How are you?
I'm good, brother. We got a great episode tonight. A great show for anybody that's listening. We are live with the River Street Podcast, episode 15. Joe, we've come a long way. We're on episode 15 now. That's a long way, my friend.
Yeah.
We'd like to
30.
take this time, and we'd like to thank everybody for being here. We'd also like to say check out Instagram.com/RiverStreetMarketing, Facebook.com/RiverSTMarketing, and we'd also like to say check out some of the other videos we have on our YouTube and the featured channel on YouTube. We have YouTuber Joe Perry, as always. His YouTube channel is featured on there. Go ahead, check out his videos. You're going to love them. A lot of good comedy, a lot of good sketches, and also some very real and deep things on there too you might find interesting. Joe, we're here.
We're here.
We're
Another
here.
episode of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but make sure you guys smash the subscribe button and share it. This podcast won't get out there if you guys won't share it.
Exactly. Bingo. Thank you very much.
Now, as much as we like to talk about ourselves, we have to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yep.
And people come for the blend. They like the mix. They like the blend. Preston, kick it off.
Now, this week in the blend, we have something very interesting for everybody. I will say that if you're a video game fan or you like video games at all, you're going to like this. NBA 2K18 has been announced. You can pre-order it now. And of all people, Shaquille O'Neal's on the cover. Joe, Shaquille O'Neal on the cover of NBA 2K18?
It's different. I don't know. Are we honoring Shaq this year? I think that's what's going on. Or 2018, I guess next year?
I think that's fair to say. I think we are honoring Shaq this year. Definitely very interesting to me that a guy that's been out of the league for more than 8 years to be on the cover. But they did the same thing with Michael Jordan, so I guess, you want Hall of Famers on there. I think there's no doubt that, Shaquille O'Neal's a Hall of Famer. This is just really interesting to me because of all the people to choose from that are in the league, I was thinking more along the lines of Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Who would I say?
That's a tough call.
You could say Russell Westbrook because of all the triple doubles.
You could. That's fair to say.
You could even put Steph Curry and people wouldn't be too mad, but I personally wouldn't. But yeah, Shaq, has he not ever been on a cover back with PS2 days or something like that?
Yeah,
or was it
been
NBA
on
Live?
No, he was on covers. I think he was on a cover for 2K, I do believe. But because 2K's been around for a while. But I also think that like I said, out of all the people you can pick from, this is who you choose. It's just really interesting to me. There's just so much talent in the NBA right now. I guess there was no big push from anybody to be on the cover. Besides Shaq. Maybe that's the case. Now, Joe, I want to get into this right now. Oreos for breakfast.
What?
Yeah, Oreos for breakfast. Now, you're probably thinking just like Joe, what are you talking about? Well, it's official. Oreo is now putting out new cookies faster than we can try them. There's now a waffle and syrup flavor. An Oreo spokesperson confirmed today that the food that we love are Oreos because, there's so many different generic brand cookies. Oreo is the original to me. I will say that this actually looks like a very good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
when we first brought it up, I was like, because like you said, I like to stay true to the black cracker and the white filling, the true Oreo. Or if you're gonna go chocolate chip, you're gonna go Mr. Christie, right?
Well, I don't. It just depends where you're at. Yes, out here you might do Chips Ahoy.
Chips. Okay,
Chips
yeah.
Ahoy,
That's isn't that what it is? Chips Ahoy.
Well, what did you say?
I said chocolate chunky or something like that.
No. You said you had a brand. You called it out. You said a brand name.
Mr. Christie.
Yeah, we don't. That's not out here. You wouldn't find that in a store by me.
They make Chunks Ahoy.
They make Chunks Ahoy or they make Chips Ahoy?
Ooh, that's a face-off. I don't even know.
Interesting. Because last time I checked, Chips Ahoy was its own brand.
Oh.
So I don't know. Now,
Oh,
you see what I'm
okay.
saying? So,
Chunks Ahoy is
hmm
Mr. Christie makes Chunks Ahoy.
okay.
Um, Chips Ahoy. Now I apologize, people, but we gotta look this up right now. Might as well. We're in the blend.
We're in the blend right now. Might as well
Chips
look it up.
Ahoy and Chunks Ahoy are different. I did say Chips Ahoy. You said Chunks Ahoy. The difference is the blue bag and the brown bag, and they are a little different. So, fair enough, but they're both made by. Or wait, is Chips Ahoy made by someone else? Yeah, they're made by
Well,
someone
you just said
else.
that they were both different. So I would assume being both different that they would be made by somebody else. That's different, right?
Oh,
Correct?
I meant different in flavor and.
Oh, so you didn't specify. That's key. Now, I would say that for breakfast, this would be something that I would enjoy eating. I would enjoy eating these for breakfast.
Maybe a snack, like say you start at like 7 or 8.
hmm hmm
Maybe the 10:30 break comes around, smoke break or whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead and have a waffle and syrup flavor cookie. Maybe you only had a large coffee for the morning or whatever.
Right. Right. No, it makes sense to me. I think also one of the bigger things here with these is that this is just one of the many flavors that I'm sure they're going to plan to release. This is just one of the many flavors that we're hearing about now. So I do believe that we'll probably see more of this very soon with Oreo pumping out these different flavors of cookies. Um,
Hmm.
but other than that, I do think that in the morning I'm the type of person that I don't like to eat a big meal. Now this is just me. I don't like to eat a big meal in the morning. The reason is because it slows me down. A lot of people say, "Oh, that gives me energy." No, it actually, if I eat right when I get up, after I brush my teeth and take a shower, after I do that, if I eat a big meal, I get a stomach ache. My stomach hurts. It can't digest all that when I wake up. So I think like if you were having your coffee in the morning, this would be something I would want to do. Eat a cookie, something sweet. Give me a lot of sugar. It'll wake me up. I'm just that way. Everybody's different, but in my opinion, that would work for someone like myself.
Right on.
Now, here's something that's really interesting. Pearl Harbor survivor skydives for his 96th birthday.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Now, first, I want to say thank you for serving. I wholeheartedly appreciate that. Beside that, just the fact that at 96 to have that type of energy. Joe, I hope I have that. I hope I make it to 96, and I hope I have that type of energy when I'm there.
Agreed. Because when you skydive, the air on your face is like freezing cold. Obviously, the feeling of it is unlike anything else. It's like only skydiving, right? There's only one other feeling like that, and and obviously you have to. I don't know where they went because a 96-year-old person obviously has some problems, and
Right.
to be go skydiving, you can't really have heart conditions and a bunch of other conditions, right? Because
It's
you don't
yeah,
want to die, right?
exactly. You wouldn't want to get in the air and then have something happen to you. But this is definitely goes to show that those older generations were tough as nails, right? Those
Tough as
older just
nails.
tough as nails. Now,
That's cool.
I just want to move into this, and we're going to move past this. We're not going to get real, we're not going to get political. Congratulations to Macron being elected France's new president, and South Korea electing their new president, Moon Jae-in. So, congratulations. I wish both of them the best. We're rooting for their success, and there's nothing else I have to say about that. The Patriots are favorited to win the Super Bowl, says odds makers in Vegas. Now, to me it's still early to be predicting favorites, but Vegas is all over it. Uh, I expect nothing less from Vegas. 3-1 odds, which is the best out of all 32 teams. The closest one besides them was 7-1 odds. That was from the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. This is really interesting to me that they're picking Joe's favorite team to go ahead and repeat as champions. Now the Patriots have made some acquisitions in the offseason. I do believe that through and through they're going to be in the playoffs again. But for me, it's too early to pick Super Bowl favorites, and especially the odds makers in Vegas are already looking for people to wage their bets.
I think what's going on here is they're taking the Patriots have been doing a lot of moving and trading while it's been going on, while the trade season's going on, drafts, etc., etc.
Yes,
Patriots have been busy. They have been.
they have been.
Is it a little early? Absolutely. I don't even think it's appropriate until they start touching the football. But that's just me. That's just me.
I'm gonna agree with you.
But at the same time, am I a Patriots fan? Hell yeah. That's my squad. But damn, like, let's play a game. Can we play one game first? Then we
Yeah.
say, okay, let's see who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you know what? We really want to have an opinion about who's gonna win, who's the best team. Everybody has their favorite team, of course. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, you're gonna say, "Well, I think the Carolina Panthers more than likely will win the Super Bowl," okay, because you're a fan. When it comes down to Vegas, and they're already picking odds, picking favorites here and there, it's easy to say the team that won last year is gonna win again. It's a safe bet, right? So
Decently, yeah.
It's usually a safe bet, but I just don't know. Like I said, so much happens in the off season. I like you said, let's play a game before we start picking odds. But you know what? Vegas has been doing this since they've been around. It's nothing new. Since the odd makers have touched football, it's always been like this. But Joe, is there anything else you want to add to this? Because I have some breaking news I'd like to announce here.
Go Pats, go.
hmm
Saturdays are for the boys.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go. I would like to say breaking news, everybody. I'm going to bring this up, and we're going to move past it to our next segment. But breaking news. The White House just announced that President Donald Trump has fired FBI Director James Comey. I repeat, the White House announces President Donald J. Trump has fired FBI Director James Comey. Details to come. You'll be able to see that, of course, all over the news for the rest of the day. But you heard it here first on the River Street Podcast. Now, Joe, we're moving into the next segment. And, you have a great segment for the listeners today. Folks, here's what's the difference. Joe, go right ahead.
What's the difference? We like to show the listeners what is the difference between A and B. And A and B today is a point and shoot camera versus a DSLR camera. So first I'm just going to name the top three main differences between them. And it's the size, the lens, and the abilities. Okay? We're talking about the size, a big difference in size. A DSLR is a heavy camera, and it's bulky, and it just looks like a wedding camera.
Okay.
The lens, the difference in the lens, the DSLR, for the most part, you can put pretty well, it's interchangeable. You can pretty well put any lens you want. And then when it comes to a point-and-shoot camera, it's a fixed lens. That means it's like a digital camera lens. So when you turn it on, it expands, and that's the lens. You cannot change it. You may be able to alter it with filters, etc., but that's the fixed lens with a point-and-shoot camera. And finally, the abilities. The abilities on a DSLR camera are almost endless. Okay, we're talking about strengths like shooting in the dark, ultra HD photos, and just the ability to play with all the photo settings. And the point and shoot is great because of the size and the look of them. They're pretty sharp, and the weight, super light, and the price difference. DSLR can run all the way up to $10,000.
Wow.
Like it's just
heavy price
if
tag.
not more. But a DSLR top of the line DSLR, you're looking for $5,000 at least, man. Point and shoot, $375. You got a pretty good camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing I will say about point and shoot, I would say they're good for vlogs. The only thing is the fact you can't change the lens. So there's an alternative to this, Preston. Don't think that's the only way you can go ahead and get good videos or good pictures.
Good.
They also have a mirrorless camera. Now it's just like a point and shoot, but interchangeable lens. So now we're talking a wide lens, a zoom lens, a normal lens, whatever, but lightweight. quote on quotation digital camera kind of look, the little square, and that's that. So, what's the difference? Point and shoot versus DSLR. Now you know the difference.
Now you know the
And
difference.
if you want an alternative, go for the mirrorless.
Nice. Joe, great job on what's the difference. Now, we're going to move into the face-off. And I don't know Joe's side. Joe doesn't know my side. So this is going to make for an interesting face-off. Joe, go ahead and introduce the face-off for everybody. They're itching to hear this.
Face off of the week: protein bars versus protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be a tough one because we're talking a powder substance versus a bar, a quick grab bar. Sometimes they can be expensive. Am I right?
Yeah, they can be very expensive.
There are many uses of the protein powder, right? Because you hear things for the shakes, for one thing, the pancakes, that's pretty much it. But
Yeah, I hear you.
I guess baking, you could bake with it.
What is your preference here?
Mm-hmm. Okay. If I had a little extra income to put towards things like supplements and stuff like that, maybe I would go protein bars just because to me they're a little more enjoyable. You can kind of trick your mind into think this is kind of like a Snickers, even though it's nothing like a Snickers. But yeah, I mean the protein powder, you get more bang for your buck. You're gonna get more protein compared to protein bars. When you go, let's say you have a $20 bill, you're gonna get more protein than protein bars.
Yes.
But I'm
So
going
here's
protein
my
bars.
here's my side. I think
Okay.
that protein shakes. Okay, I want a protein shake. Here's
Okay.
the biggest reason why. The headline. Okay, the protein bar gives me gas. Okay, every time I've eaten a protein bar, I've gotten gas. Sorry to break the news to everybody, but it probably will give you gas. Protein shakes, on the other hand, like you said, you nailed it. You get more protein out of them.
Yeah.
That's a done deal. If
Just
I'm looking
do.
for protein and I'm looking for something that's gonna, and the protein fills you up quick, and you're looking for something that's gonna fill you up quick, that protein bar not gonna fill you up. The protein shake, on the other hand, very good for your muscles. Not saying that the bars aren't, but the bars usually come attached with something else and a flavor, and you know there's additives in there. With the protein shake, you can get a lot of those things that are just straight up protein.
Yeah.
So
A lot of them do
Mhm.
have the additives, but you're absolutely right. You can definitely buy the brands that avoid that additive. So you're
good luck
100%
finding the
right
protein
there.
bars without the additives. Good luck.
Yeah, that could be. There's going to be a markup on that.
Yeah. If you can find the market for it, because there's a market there, but if you can find the market for it, that's the biggest thing. So this week, Joe, we're just not going to see eye to eye. I'm going to have to say, give me the protein powder. I'm whipping up a big old shake, and you know what? I'm nice enough to share it with you. So that's just the type of guy I am. But
I appreciate the offer, but I'm so filled up on this peanut butter bar.
yeah,
Thank you, though.
yeah, that peanut butter bar, yeah, that it just a little willy-nilly for me. Now, we're going to move into the best app feature of the week. This
Okay.
is going to be strong, folks. We don't talk about a best app feature without it being strong, okay? To be fair, we don't talk about anything without it being strong. The best app feature of the week is from Amazon. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the Amazon Echo. Before I announce the best app feature of the week, let me just explain a little bit about the Amazon Echo and what it is. It is the Amazon Echo or computer. It's a device capable of voice interaction, music playback, making to-do lists, setting alarms, streaming podcasts, playing audiobooks, and providing weather, traffic, and other real-time information. Now, what I'd like to say is that the Amazon Echo is coming out with a touch screen and a video camera. So 2 features in one. You heard it here on the River Street podcast if you didn't read it somewhere else. I will say that now that the Amazon voice activated Echo speaker already tells you things, now they're going to be able to show you things too. So this is going to be very interesting when this rolls out. I'm excited for it. I don't have the Amazon Echo. I have something similar to it from the Black Web type, kind of an off-brand type of speaker. But it has very nice similarities to the Amazon Echo. But the Amazon Echo is in a category of its own. There's really nothing else out there like it, except Google's coming out with Google has theirs, but other than that, I mean Amazon obviously will have a better product. It's been out longer. It's been updated, and it's just very convenient, especially if you're an Amazon shopper. So I will also say that it's just a great double feature for the best app feature of the week. Joe, go ahead with anything you want to say about that.
Agreed. I just wanted to say we love Amazon products.
We love them.
So keep running it, Amazon.
Yep. Keep running.
That's that.
Stranger weird things on the web, folks. We're moving into our next segment. Stranger weird things on the web. Now, this is on the side of strange. Okay. Last week, we gave you something that was very weird. This week, on this particular podcast, this is something strange. Kanye West goes to the Wyoming mountaintop to write new music.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is just stupid.
It's just bad.
It's just silly. You know what I mean?
It's just bad. I mean, let's be real. Mm-hmm. You have everything you need as far as studio, equipment, connections, and you decide that not only did you make a song called Runaway, that you were going to run away as well into the Wyoming mountains to work on new music. Now, look, I like Kanye a lot. I respect Chicago music. But at the same time, when something's strange or weird or stupid, we're going to call it out.
Yeah. And that was just strange. It may not be stupid because he may come up with something, but as far as we see it, I don't know what motivation you get on Wyoming mountaintop. Do you?
No, I don't. I just don't. I don't.
Is it nice there? I don't know.
I've never been to Wyoming.
Trees.
I never planned on it.
Is there bunnies around?
I don't know. Maybe there's a moose lodge up there.
I don't know. Safe moose lodge at least.
At least a safe moose lodge. I mean, good.
Okay.
Good.
Whoa.
We're moving on. This week, folks, we have a great, strong junk file for you. Something strong. Something I feel strongly about.
Bah!
Bam!
Strong.
Pow! Right in the kisser. Gun violence in this week's junk file. Everywhere. Gun violence everywhere. Especially in Chicago. Now, the total right now for the year in Chicago is 200 homicides. Okay, folks, this has to stop. This has to stop. We can't depend on anybody but ourselves to take back our neighborhoods, to fight crime, and to reduce the crime rate. Comes from the people that live in those neighborhoods. And I don't want to hear another word about it, about how you can blame the police, you can blame the mayor, you can blame the governor, you can blame the president. You do what you got to do. People know that if you live in those communities, in those neighborhoods, it's time for you to step it up. It's time for you to speak up. And I'm going to add this as well, and I'm going to pass it to Joe. I have a big problem, and this is an add-on to the junk file here. When people talk about their health on national television, your health is between you and your doctor. Everybody has problems, issues. Do they not? We don't need to hear about celebrities' problems or family issues, especially medical ones. Then, telling other celebrities to speak about your family's health. I didn't know national TV is turning into National Sick Hour. You all know who I'm talking about. That is all. Joe, go ahead. I know you have something you'd like to add to this.
I can't take it, Preston. I'm freaking out over here. All these things you're telling me about people being public about their health, gun violence, gun control. Let's get these guns off the streets, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's clean it up. It's time to clean it up.
People need to start taking responsibility for their own actions and start with them.
Yes.
You want to change, start with you.
Exactly. Before you point the finger, point it at yourself.
Now, the real junk file.
Yes.
Okay. And that was real. Everyone needs to pay attention to what Preston just said.
That was deep.
That was very important. Yep. The junk file. So, you ever go on social media, Preston? Mm-hmm. And now, I just want to say, I'm going to use girls as an example, but I just want to let everybody know before I start this, guys are even worse for it.
Yes.
Guys are even worse for this.
Yes.
You ever go on Instagram and a girl you went to high school, or maybe you worked with her, even a dude, and they post a picture of their food. Okay, and nothing wrong with a food picture. Hell
No.
no, nothing.
Hell
You love
no.
food.
Nothing
You
wrong
love
with it.
food.
Yep.
She posts a picture. He or she posts a picture of their food. Okay, I'm just keep on saying she because the last time I ticked, timing bomb just went off was a girl's post.
Okay.
And what it was some pan fried shrimp, white minute rice. Okay, probably did it in the microwave. And some asparagus that looked very poorly sizzled. And they took a picture and they write, hashtag wife me, hashtag future wife, hashtag, you better get me before, or whatever, right?
I'm off
Future
the
wife,
market,
future
yeah.
hobby, or I'm off
Mhm.
the market, or someone else scoops me up, and it's like, whoa. So if you're a girl and you're doing that, you're saying that no guy can put shrimp on a pan and make white minute rice? And if you're a guy, you're saying no girl can make this pasta and the sauce like you did, and they better go ahead and make you their hubby or whatever the hell you said?
Ooh, yeah.
Dude, you
Yes.
idiot. That pasta sauce you bought for that meal, when you were in the grocery store, like, yeah, that looks good. That was a girl who designed that fucking label, you idiot.
Yep. I agree. There you go.
So anybody who puts that kind of stuff, unless you're actually working at a restaurant and posting a picture of your food, please don't include, oh, wife me, or make me your husband, or etc., etc.
Yeah.
Let us just say that looks good.
Good eats.
Let other people
Yeah.
say good eats.
Yep.
Say it was a,
I
because
agree.
you know what, man, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, I know the listeners got to feel good because not only did we put something in the junk file, we junk filed 3 things in this junk file. So that's great. I feel strong about everything we talked about in this junk file here.
Me too.
I feel strong about everything. Good, good. Now, folks, we're coming to a close. We want to thank everybody for being with us so far on River Street Podcast, episode 15. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all the support, the feedback, the comments. Thank you. Now, we're going to give you a hidden gem. We give it to you every podcast. You're going to get a hidden gem. This week's hidden gem: composition books. Now, the reason I am titling this under hidden gem is because they have been left in the wind. As someone who writes a lot, a composition book is well binded, and it also is very sturdy, opposed to spiral notebooks. There's a hidden rule to composition books. You can't rip any pages out of it without it looking tacky or ruining that binding. This week's hidden
those
gem.
are interesting.
This week's hidden gem: composition books. Enjoy it. If you don't have one, go out and get one. You can get one at the dollar store for $1. Folks,
I like it.
before I get into the final thought, Joe, is there anything else you want to add?
Just wanted to say thank you to anyone listening to the podcast. We're getting our podcast out there to a bunch of new apps and websites. So if you use any of those, or if you use any of those to listen to the radio or other people's podcasts, within a few weeks' time, hopefully you'll see us on there.
Good. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. My final thought of the week is directed at the city where I am from, Kankakee. They just had a terrible flooding incident that unfortunately is going to push 30 people out of their homes. A little bit more than that on the north side of Kankakee. I'd just like to express my sympathy, and I really understand how that is because I've gone through flooding and I've lost a lot in a flood that was very important to me, very dear to me, things that I can never get back. So I'd just like to express my sympathy. I know Joe feels the same way, feels very strongly about that when people get removed from their houses and their homes because of water damage. They can't be on the property because the property is in 10-foot puddles of water, as what has been reported. I just like to express my sympathy again one last time. And everybody, thank you for tuning in to another edition of the River Street Podcast. We will not be here this Friday. It is going to be Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to all the mothers out there. It's Mother's Day weekend. I'm going to take this time and go celebrate with my mother. Joe's going to do the same thing. And I would ask everybody out there to please get your mom some flowers, buy your mom something nice. Don't listen to anybody. It does matter. They do appreciate it. Joe, thanks for being here again.
Preston, thanks for having me. Guys, thanks for listening. We're out.
Just like the hands of time, we're turning it over to the audience. Have a good night, everybody.